from Kim, and she can fuck all night.
Hello, Chiefs Rays Bolts here. I am joined by a bunch of other Rays fans through the Move the Rays to Tampa group chat on Instagram. That is how everybody here knows each other. I am joined here by Devin, Carlos, Jonah, and Garrett. All very heavy Rays fans. Big Rays fans here in this chat. So what we want to do here is something a little bit different. Rather than just me and Casey, the A's fan, talking about the playoffs, I wanted to gather up a group of Rays fans, all Rays fans, and discuss our predictions for the playoffs. And so thank you guys, every one of you, for making the effort to join this call and going through with this. So I appreciate you. Glad you're here. So let's just get right into it. So whoever wants to go first, I mean, how are we feeling about how this regular season's ending right now?
Horrible.
Exactly.
Horrible. We are 2-8 in our last 10 games. Before the game tonight, where we lost 6-3, 7 out of the last 10 games, we've scored 1 run or less. Our bats are non-existent. Pitching's always going to be decent for us, but that's not what's going to win in the playoffs. And I'm very, very skeptical of I just don't feel like you just flip a switch and your bats get hot in the playoffs. I think that's more of a miracle. So I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like this might be a quick exit and I might be getting my money back for the ALDS.
I think the one thing good we got going for us is the pitching rotation going in. But other than that, those hitters are the one guy we got is Wander. But all the other people I feel like are very unproven. We gotten no veteran bat. Peralta, since he's come in, hasn't even hit a home run for us. He's been all singles, doubles. So I feel very concerned about our offense, especially going against Cleveland when the last series we went up against them, we lost.
Yeah, even though Peralta is our veteran bat, if we're going to call it like that, he only has 1 year of play of experience. So I don't know how he's going to help us in those areas. I know the team kind of has that experience from past years, but I think it's just going to go down to get the right people to get hot at the right time. And if we can get, I would say, a 75% of what we got in August, I think we can make it past the ALDS.
I think. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. No, I was just gonna say we're getting Glasnow back at the right time. Did make a good point there. The pitching rotation should be at about its peak for the playoffs, but again, how much will the offense actually help out the pitching rotation? That is going to be the main story of this year's playoffs for this Rays team. Going back to the record thing, so the Rays finished the season with an 86-76 record, and they do make the playoffs. Important to note, we would not have made the playoffs if not for the added wild card slots. The Rays missed the playoffs on 2 separate occasions while winning 90 games, once in 2012 and the other in 2018. So should the Rays even be in the playoffs this year? It's a very fair question because we sure as hell wouldn't be here without the added games.
I think baseball always needed to expand, though, and I love the new format. I think the old format sucked. It was horrible.
I agree.
Just a one game. You play 162 games, and it comes down to one. At least make it a series. Mm-hmm. I'm glad that it's a 3-game series, so you have to win 2 of 3. But I do think we're one of the better teams in the league, obviously, because we're in the playoffs. But I do believe, especially with all the injuries we have too, we're the most resilient team. No team in baseball has had more injuries than us. And we've battled and we've stayed in the hunt, and it's just been the last literally 10 games. We're 2-8. It's just been a bad stretch. We were literally 10 games ago in the first place of the wild card. So we do deserve to be there. It's just been a really, really bad stretch, and it's just put a bad taste in everyone's mouth. But I don't know. I do believe though that they deserve it.
I think you're absolutely right with the addition, the expansion of the wild cards. I hated the stress in that 2019 wild card game. It's like we played this entire season just for it to come down to tonight. I wasn't a big fan of that, but it was even worse a little over a decade ago, before they even added the wild cards, I believe it was only 8 teams that made the playoffs. It was like I don't remember how the format worked, but it was 8 teams, and now we're up to, what is it, 12, 13? But
12.
No, it's 12. Yeah.
yeah. So I agree with the addition, the expansion, and so. Well, it'll be interesting to see. I like how they made it a 3-game series. I'm not a fan, though, of how all 3 games are on the road. I think at least one of them should have been at the Trop. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but
No, to me, that's if you have the higher seed, you deserve. Like, that's just too much travel back and forth just for like a 3-game set. Like, it's supposed to be done pretty quick, and if anything, like, it's gonna make them more tired and at even more of a disadvantage because all that travel back and forth for the ALDS like for a wild card to go back and forth if they make it deep. So I like it. We have to win on the road. We haven't been good on the road. But out of any team that we had to play in the wild card, I love this matchup. Like, it's a very favorable matchup for us. Like a 3-game set against the Mariners, don't like that. Toronto, definitely don't like that.
In Toronto.
I want those teams, Houston's, all the Toronto, Seattle, all them. I want them in a 5-game at least, not a 3-game. So, I think we got the most favorable matchup, and of course, if we win, we can play the Yankees too. That'd be sweet.
And hey.
Oh, sorry. You go ahead.
Okay. I am very cool with playing the Yankees over any of those other teams. Honestly, I'd rather play the Yankees than I'd rather play the Blue Jays in Toronto. I'd rather play the Yankees than I'd rather play Seattle in Seattle. Like, and we've seen the Yankees so much, dude. We've seen the Yankees so much. And I think we got the season series this year, right? Or did we split it?
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. I think we got like 3 games back. But we played like 8 games when we were 17 man down on the IL.
Oh.
But
well,
seriously,
it was also a lot of those games were battles. Like we just lost the battle in the game. It was,
and they
were
swear
all
they're the
really
underdog
tight.
too. Like that's the narrative now that we've created because we've owned them so much. Is that like they swear they have to like come in with like that swagger. Like we should be having that attitude towards them. They shouldn't have that towards us. They're the freaking Yankees. We're the little Rays with one of the least amount of payrolls. Like they're sitting there playing victim. Like we battled, like they should be beating us all the time. So they don't want to. They do not want to see us. I promise you.
No,
they want the Guardians to win. They want a nice, smooth ALDS. They can stay healthy and save their arms for a big battle with Houston, who I think is the best team and severely underrated in all of baseball.
Oh, underrated. You think
they don't get enough credit? They don't get enough credit. I honestly think they could be the best team in baseball right now.
Whoa.
They're a good team, bro.
Dude, better than the Dodgers?
They are a very good team.
Better than the Dodgers?
Bro, I'm telling you.
I think the Dodgers are underrated.
For that reason, I'm telling you they're grossly underrated.
The Dodgers
reaction
this year?
I don't know. Dude, hey, I think the Astros definitely deserve to be like where they're at. And they're without a doubt the best team in the American League, but like the Dodgers, dude? Are you like I don't know, like I don't know what else to say other than that, man. Like
on paper the Dodgers are the best team. No, like of course.
I mean, like, dude.
Who's the stronger league though overall?
I mean, the American League historically. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess that's a fair point, but it's hard to deny the Dodgers of that like best team throne, dude. You go through like 1 through 9 on that, and that starting lineup is just like it's like an all-star team.
Of course,
no, that Dodger lineup.
I'm looking at the Astros
overrated.
and the way that they play baseball. Every time they need to get someone in and they have timely hits, 1 through 9, someone is producing, someone is doing something, and in a very important moment. It doesn't matter where they are in the lineup. That team is very gritty. Their bullpen is very solid. The
rotation is like an 8-man rotation.
The rotation
they all
is
solid.
disgusting.
Yeah,
like they're just a very they don't have all the big names and everything, but they're timely, bro. Like that's a big thing, especially in playoff baseball. So and when they swept us, they beat our ass. Like beat our ass, and we weren't even playing bad baseball. They were just very, very solid and very timely with things. Rasmussen pitched a perfect, like not a perfect game, but a very good game, and we still lost 4-0. So
I did want to lead this into. I'm sorry. It's this one thing I learned with these Discord calls is everybody's always going to cut somebody off. There's a lag. Deal with it.
You have.
I did want to get into because this was kind of like a debate for the last couple of weeks. And you guys can be completely honest. There's no shame here. Did you want the Rays to continue to lose games so we can play the Guardians right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1000%.
I mean,
There's no shame about it.
Yeah,
I think
mean,
if we had a real shot at getting the first wild card, I would consider it. But like only because we get home field advantage and we're 10 times better at home.
Mm-hmm.
But we really did not have a guaranteed shot at that home field advantage. And I think it was safe. It was a safer play by the Rays organization. They were, I believe they were thinking about tanking. I think they were trying to tank. But
Oh man.
hey, that man was right. That man was right. All year.
So I selfishly wanted them to get the first seed just because I wanted to go to a baseball game like in October and be guaranteed a game. But once I realized that wasn't it, there's no benefit in being the 5th seed whatsoever. Going to Toronto or to Seattle, nah, I'm good. So we end up in the right position. I don't know if they're actively tanking. Like I just can't wrap my head around a professional team walking into a locker room and saying, "Hey," or a clubhouse saying, "Hey, don't hit tonight." Or, "Hey, don't throw your best stuff tonight." You know, like I just don't think that's happening. Maybe it's in the back of their head and everyone's like subconsciously like the coaches are like, "Hey, like we match up analytically best against these people." Like I don't know.
Put it past
It's just hard for me to say that the team's actively going to tank, but I'm happy with the outcome.
Yeah.
I think all Rays fans should be happy about the outcome because I mean, this is the Guardians. This is not like we're playing the Yankees. And I'm just saying, if we would have been the 5th or 4th seed, that would have been a hell of a lot more difficult. You're talking about a 3-game set against Toronto to begin the playoffs. And if you somehow manage to get out of that, then you'd have to go play the Astros. And I think I speak for everybody here when I say I hope that there's no chance in hell the Astros even get out of the second round. So that way if the Rays somehow pull off a miracle and get to the ALCS this year, the Astros won't be an issue. It'll be like the Mariners or the Blue Jays miraculously. But that's just me. I think the Astros are way too good. You saw the regular season series we just played against them. It wasn't even fun for us. It was domination at its finest.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I think there's quite a good chance we meet if we beat both the Guardians and the Yankees. We either Toronto or the Mariners. They just have that swag with them this year. They have all the like push behind them from their fan bases. Like they missed both of them won 90 games last year and missed the playoffs. They want it so bad, and it personally, I think that's going to be a great series to watch. It's going to be freaking awesome. It's just like both of them have very solid teams, like past solid. They are really good teams. The Mariners rotation is nasty. The Blue Jays lineup is nasty. Like I can see them both absolutely coming in and beating Houston at home.
Yeah, they're. It's sad that it's only a 3-game set because this is like a really, really good fun matchup, and they're both fun teams to watch. Like I know the Toronto's in our division, but like they're still a fun team to watch because they're so young and they just got that, just a cool swag about them. They hit, it's the legends of, all their dads played. Like they're just a cool, fun team to watch. But when they play the Rays, I hate them. But no, I think it's gonna be a really good, fun series.
Let's just go by everybody one-on-one here. What is everybody's realistic, like in the back of your head? Because you can't think with your heart here. I want your brain predictions. How far, realistically, do you think the Rays will get this year?
I mean, I'm going to
start.
I'm probably a little bit unreasonable here in my optimism, but I really think that I know the offense has been the whole problem this whole year. Timely hitting has been the issue. Like we always have the guys. We always have Yandy Diaz that gets on base. We always have guys, like that do the stuff to get on, but We never have like that impact guy. Last year was Brandon Lau, and he carried our lineup a good chunk of the season. This year dealt with injuries and stuff, and even when he was healthy, didn't really produce all that much. But I think if we can get two guys that can just have a very good. I know this is the case with like every playoff team, but if you can get
Playoff
two guys,
Randy.
yeah. I think
Yeah,
I was gonna
that's
say,
Too, Bray.
I think Randy and Wander. I think if they ride I'm not even saying like a crazy hot streak. If they can drive in a couple runs a game, I think this pitching rotation is maybe a hot take, but I think it's the best in the playoffs. I Tyler Glass now. No, I know he's still raw off injuries. All right, I know he's only a couple starts
Dude,
in.
did you see him in the last game? He does not look like he's injured. Like,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I know he's only a couple starts back, and I don't know how ginger they're going to be with him or whatever, but obviously the guy's stuff is still there. It's back better than it has been ever. Rasmussen, I would say, had a better second half than McClanahan. Like, he's been more consistent as of late. McClanahan, top 3 Cy Young. Like, and then pick your poison at the 4 if you have to. I mean, what do you want? Springs?
Springs is
Springs.
grossly underrated.
Springs is
Spring should be the number 4.
That's what
No
I'm
question.
saying. Yeah, exactly. And then
yeah.
you've got a ton of bulk guys that can just chew up innings. If I know Yarbrough's not a popular option, but he shuts down the Yankees every few times he throws. So I don't know. Realistically, I think my prediction is the Rays get to the World Series. I don't want to say anything other than that. But that's my hope. That's my optimistic prediction.
Well, I would say if we make it out of the ALDS, I think we can get that boost to make it. But first, we have to make it out of the ALDS. I think it's going to be a tough series because the Yankees also, if we go to the ALDS, because I'm thinking Cleveland, they're going to throw Bieber first game against McClanahan. I think we can take that if we get a really Shane type of performance that he would throw in 7 innings and strike out like 10, 11 like he used to do at the beginning of the season. And if we can just put the right arms after that, Daddy Cash, don't do stupid decisions with the bullpen. I think we can get a shot to get that first game and give us the boost to make it to the second round. And as they say on the group chat, the ALDS has always been the problems of the Rays. Like they haven't lost a wildcard series or ALCS, even though we have played only 2. So I think if we beat the Yankees on the ALDS, we do have the shot to make it out of the World Series. I think our hardest series will be the ALDS. That's my take. But if we make it past that, I think we can make it to the World Series. We just need to get hot. I trust Yandy also and Ramirez to do a little step forward. Of course, Randy and Wander have to be like on their game to make it like far, and just good decisions. I still don't know how many people are going to be on the roster, but those bats that we have off the bench, I don't trust that, like, not at all. Like, who will you put on a 8th inning with like 2 runners on base to get a hit? Like Walls, Brujan, Aranda. Like that's gonna be a tough call, but I think if we get hot, we can make it to the World Series. I see that coming.
Devin, you want to go or
Alright.
do you want me to go?
I'll go. So
All right.
Come on, lay it on us.
Let's hear it,
big man.
Devin.
I can.
We all know.
I have two, like, my heart, like, there's weird things about, there's some things that are just so weird about, and like teams of destiny, like, there's no, you can give these circumstances that we've been given to the Yankees, you can give them to the Red Sox, you could give it to all these big name teams, and they would have not, like, almost, I want to say a lot of teams in the MLB, 17 starters, like, on your team, injured, out for the season, not playing, and still make the playoffs. No other teams are doing that. The way we were able to compete, maneuver, make moves, call this person up. Oh, this guy was a plumber. Oh yeah, he'll be a great third baseman. Like, just random stuff that we can do. Like, it's incredible. And the fact that we're here, I'm super proud, and that can be contagious. But I have to talk myself back down to and that, I feel like that team could be going to the World Series, like, just perfect story, writes itself. Shouldn't have been there. Brave story, like a Brave story last year where they have all the injuries and they get hot. But here's the big difference. They were getting hot at the right time. We are the coldest of all teams right now in the playoffs. There's not a team that is colder in the fucking league, in the league than the Rays. So my realistic expectation, we lose in the wild card in 3 games.
Oh.
I'm sorry,
come
the bats,
All
on.
right.
the bats,
Hey, that was like
the
clickbait
bats,
for a second there, because it was like kind of
the
leading us to
bats.
think that he was also going to choose the World Series here, but
Nope.
no, wild card loss. All right. So
Wild card lost.
Jonah, how about you?
Oh, I already went.
Oh, I'm sorry, not Jonah.
Yeah, no, hey, it's all good.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Garrett. I got you two confused.
Yeah. Oh, man. So you see, I see every one of you guys, and I see all of your points, and I think they're all very valid. What I'm going to tell you is, I see every role we could possibly need. I see it pretty much filled. Now, are these players, are they going to perform at the top of their game? Because if all of them perform at the top of the game, we're winning the World Series. If they perform at the top of their game. Now, some of them, if they perform below the top of their game, I could see us losing in the wild card. I honestly think if we make it out of the wild card, it's entirely dependent on the pitching staff. The pitching staff is going to determine whether we win or lose games, because the offense is going to be very iffy, and we rely on that. Now, I know we definitely have the starting pitching. We have the starting pitching. I believe this is a World Series caliber team. So I'm going to go all in and say we're winning the World Series.
All right, there we go.
I think we legitimately have a very, very good shot if we get out of the wild card. If we get out of the wild card, I think we have a very good shot.
Can I pose a question real quick, if you don't mind?
Yeah.
What do we think about the bullpen? Well, like if it's
the bullpen.
I was actually going to ask you
perfectly
guys.
fine. Pitching is perfectly fine. They
It
are
is.
one of the
Well, dude,
best. Literally,
all right.
the problem is that we cannot get
Oh,
timely hits. We
clearly,
leave so
clearly.
many people on base. We have so many base running errors, and it's just time after time they don't clean any of this up whatsoever.
totally
It's been the
agree.
same recurring theme, and we're not also as good defensively, where we're saving runs defensively as we are. Name a last time that someone from the outfield had an outfield assist and has like thrown someone out at the plate since Kiermaier have been hurt.
Margot's
Not
had a couple
one
good throws,
person.
but not at the plate. Not at the
But
plate.
you know what I'm saying? Like we're not
Yeah.
we're
I
not
know
the same
what you-
defensive
Yeah.
team. If you're not going to be the same defensive team and you're not going to run the bases well, your ass better hit home runs. Y'all better do something. Like the pitching staff giving up 3-4 runs a game, like that's pretty decent.
Right?
Like
That's a solid.
that's the most like that's a very
Puts
good
you in a
pitching staff. It's
position
not
to
a
win.
problem. It's
Yeah.
the problem is that when the pitching is pitching well, we put in these guys that aren't our high leverage relievers, and then they give them a home
Yeah.
run, and then everyone says that they suck. Well, what about the offense who wasn't giving them a cushion? Like just gave them a one when you had bases loaded and you only got one run in. You could have got 3 or 4 in, and that one home run that he gave up for that 2-run shot, you still win the game. So that's the thing that's why you don't just flip a switch in baseball and just decide to hit. It doesn't work like that. So
Well,
unless I'm wrong like completely, and I pray that I am, what I've watched the past 10 games is horrendous offensively. Yes, we had a couple games where we put up a lot of runs. Whoa, good job. But consistently, over a consistent basis, we haven't hit. So that's why, and when I watched the Guardian series, they were having timely hits. That Quan dude and Miles Straw, those two dudes like pissed me
Miles
off
Straw.
watching that. Miles Straw
Yeah.
is probably the most
destroyed us
punchable face
on
in
defense.
on that team. Like I hate that guy.
Not
I
even
really
talking
do not
about
like
baseball
that guy.
anymore. Just
Yeah, but
that dude's
So-
face.
they have
So,
they
Devin.
have timely hits.
I completely agree with what you're saying, and the only condition I have on my prediction of the Rays winning the World Series is that we have to make it out of the wild card. It's World Series or bust. That's what I view the team as. Like I think we very much have the shot of winning it. It's whether or not we get out of the wild card. That is the whole.
So if we get out of the wild card, we're winning the whole thing, no doubt in your mind.
Yeah.
Dude, we're sweeping our way through. I don't even know what we're having.
Yeah.
Fun fact, we've never, if we make it past the ALDS historically, every time we've been in the playoffs, we've never lost in the wild card. We've only lost in the ALDS. And if we make it past the ALDS, we make an appearance in the World Series. We've never lost in the ALCS.
Well, hey, how about this? Every time we've made the playoffs, we have not won the World Series. How about that stat?
Okay, just
Nah,
switch
nah,
it up a
that's
little
cherry
bit.
pick. That's cherry pick. I don't like that.
I'll go
Who's
ahead
your
and-
predictions for the NL representative in the World Series?
Dodgers.
Dodgers.
It's always the Dodgers. But
I'm gonna go a little sneaky and say the Cardinals.
okay.
Oh,
That's a love
Oh,
story,
man.
but I
Yeah.
think it's the Braves.
I was
think
gonna
it's the
say
Braves.
Braves might
would be my
surprise
second
again.
choice.
Yeah. I mean, if you can get some, I mean, dude, how about the young talent that the Braves have locked up, dude?
This
I saw
is
some
I thought
graphic
their
the other day.
agents should all be fired.
Yeah,
dude,
honestly.
bro. But if you think about it,
Bro.
man, I mean, what if those guys don't pan out and they're getting paid way more than what they're worth? Like, I mean, it's
Yeah.
like,
Turn around and they just pay someone else. Like that's
Nah.
the benefit of having a high payroll in a cool baseball stadium in the middle of a market.
Bro, that stadium is like, oh my god.
yeah,
I've been there. That stuff is good.
All right, I'm just gonna say because I don't think we ever got around to it. I'm predicting an ALDS loss here. First ever for the Rays. Or no, not the. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the wild card. No, but ALDS. I think the Rays. Because look, you look at the last Cleveland series that we played against over the last two. I mean, we lost the series 2-1, but that was like the scores of the games 2-1. These like 1-run losses that the Rays are losing. It's nothing about the Guardians, in my eyes, is impressive or inspiring. I don't think. I mean, do any of you guys honestly think Cleveland has a shot of going somewhere in this playoff? No, I don't think any of us do.
They have a shot of getting out the wild card because we can't hit.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah,
I'm
It's not
fair
because
enough.
of their
realistically,
doing, it's because of
if-
what we can't do and
You're
what we're
talking
not
about
doing.
like World Series aspirations, so Cleveland's not the team you bat an eye to. I think the Rays.
I mean, I'd bet them to try and make out a huge payout.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think the Rays, obviously, it's not going to surprise me if we lose this wild card series. Won't surprise me one bit with the way the bats have been all season, with the way the whole team has been playing. I mean, aside from the pitching, how the team has been playing, not putting up any runs past. Like Devin said, we are the coldest team in baseball right now going into the playoffs. It's not even really close. So that doesn't help. I think the Rays have what it takes, however, to win this wild card series. It's best of 3. It's not like, oh, well, we're playing 7 or 5, right? All you gotta do is win 2 games. I don't think it should be that hard to just win 2 games. But once you get to the Yankees, that's the problem. And if, for whatever reason, the Rays can pull that off, I don't see a way the Blue Jays or Mariners get past the Astros. In my eyes, the Astros are just too damn good. If the Rays have to play the Astros in the ALCS, forget about it. That'll be close to a sweep. And so I'm going to just – I'll be the odd man out and say that we're going out in the ALDS. I think we'll get past the Guardians, the wild card.
I said the wild card.
You did
so,
say the wild card.
Yeah.
You did say the wild card. But
I'm gonna get a lot of slack for this, and they're gonna say I'm a fake fan, but I'm just going by what I see.
no, it's
You gotta be
You're
realistic.
good,
At some
you're being
point,
honest.
but
it's realistic, man. I just,
freezing
I
cold
didn't want-
takes is
story,
gonna
but you
pose
guys
to when
see
the
it. Like
Rays
the
win the World
story is
Series.
there. Like someone in the locker room needs to like
fire
I don't
them
know,
up.
rally them together, or like. And I thought it was the Yandy
That's the
and,
one
like,
thing I
Randy
think we
fight.
don't have.
Like I thought that was gonna be like the turning point where like okay, the bats get
Oh,
hot because they
right.
literally
Yeah,
they
yeah.
literally were fighting. Like I thought that was a spark, but like they have such a cool story. They shouldn't be here. Like
Yeah.
their whole thing should be like, why not us? Like go out there, stop putting so much pressure on yourself.
Dude.
Go out there and stop hitting home, like trying to hit home runs every single time you're at the plate. Like let's get some rallies going. Let's get some hits going. Like
Also, I
every
don't want
every time their approach at the plate pisses me off. I don't know whose call that is, but it's pissing me off. They're trying to hit home runs every single time, swinging out of their shoes.
Small ball. If we
I-
played small ball, I have no doubt we'd pretty much wreck every team we came across.
Hey, I've seen my boy T-Dub square up for a few bunts. So if I was hitting $120, I'd square up more than a few times. I'd probably square up every time if I was hitting.
Say, why don't we do like if you're getting
Respectfully.
shifted, throw a couple bunts down.
That's
like,
what I'm
a little bit of
saying, bro.
speed.
That's
Throw
what I'm
some-
saying. It's even not on the Rays, bro. Guys like Gallo, G-Man Troy, drop a bunt down, brother. Drop that thing down the line. If you can get it down there, that's a free bag. Hey, what are we talking about here? Come on.
See, like
On
the
base
Rays are
person
that one
through the
team
roof.
that don't bunt when the shift is on them, and they got like a wide open, nobody covering
I'll
the
not-
third base.
And
team.
guess
shit
what
they put
happens
on us
if
is
you go up and
disrespectful.
you start bunting every single time? They have to play you straight up.
Yeah, and then you just
So then
rope one in between
Then
second
you just
and
rope
third.
it through. Like everyone's complaining about the shift. The good hitters don't get shifted because they hit it all over the ballpark. Let me just say, like most good hitters don't
Yeah.
get shifted because they hit it all over the ballpark.
Yeah.
So if you can't, I don't know. I hate that they're banning it. That's a whole other conversation. But
Yeah, yeah. That's one good point.
Do the Rays benefit in the playoffs by losing Colin Poche for the season?
yes, not even a
Yeah,
question.
I don't pray nobody's
Yeah,
going home.
dude.
The only reason I love how we're all in agreement here. The only reason I ask that is because clearly, if the Rays coaches keep putting him in games, then the people below him in the coach's eyes aren't playing as good as Poche. That's the only reason I asked that question. But I don't think any Rays fan, any rational Rays fan at least, is like, yeah, no, Poche, no. I mean, he gave up a grand slam yesterday, and then the very next at bat season-ending injury. So
It's like the gods of fate. We're like, you know what?
Yeah.
We're gonna
Doesn't he
help
have?
you guys out.
Doesn't
The
Poche
definition of
have like
insanity.
9 blown games?
Yes.
Think if we had those 9 games back, we would be first in the wild card, and maybe I don't think we'd catch the Yankees, or
we
maybe
would've
we'd
been-
be in front of them.
We would have been more
We're
competitive.
16 back from the Yankees.
But we would have been more
We're
competitive.
16. We're 16 back.
These last like 6 games, I feel like we've just kind of. I'm not saying we've been tanking. Like Dev said, it's hard to believe that MLB team would be like, yo, let's not hit tonight.
Shit, my battery.
But without a doubt, obviously, like we scratched Rasmussen, like Bruhan went in the other for Rosarani yesterday. I know, or was that yesterday or was that today?
Today, I think.
I guess that was yesterday. But I don't know. It doesn't feel like we've been playing our most competitive brand of baseball lately. But regardless, still shouldn't be getting blown out like this.
Yeah.
No, it's the whole Poche thing. It's the definition of insanity. Like,
Yeah.
literally doing the same exact thing, putting them in high leverage situations and expecting different results.
Like, what do they? They must like something, dude. They must like something.
I don't know
Because
why
he
they
had a
trust him
great
so much.
season and he just hasn't been I understand sticking with your guy. Like, stick by your guy. But my guy, it's been 162 games. Like, he hasn't pitched in 162 games, but my guy, like, bro, it's just not there. Like, let's figure this out in the offseason. But like, let's stop, send him down, do something. Like, you can't keep doing the same thing.
Who now are like the high leverage guys then? Like give me
Jason
three.
Adam.
Give me 3 high leverage guys right now that like bottom of the 8th, we're up 1. You need to get me over a guy to.
Jason Adam, Pete Fairbanks.
JT.
And I would say Chargois.
Sharkwell, yep.
I like
So
Sharkwa.
those
He gets
three-
hit a lot.
We
but
don't have anyone
he's
else.
good.
Like, it would be Nick Anderson.
Yeah.
He's hurt.
Dude,
Whatever happened
I
to
was
Fire
wondering.
Eyes? Didn't he get hurt too?
He's
Yeah,
hurt too.
He's hurt.
Yeah.
Right.
What about Fairbanks?
Is he out for the
We
season?
said
Yeah,
Fairbanks.
no.
Yeah, dude, Fairbanks has been kicking it. Hold on, I'm riding
he's
I'm
nasty.
riding with Pistol Pete. I'm riding with Pistol Pete all the way to the World Series, baby. I like him at the closer, man. I like him a lot at the closer. Yeah, I
He's
know
got
the Rays
attitude,
never.
man.
I know the Rays never have like a closer, but bottom of the 9th, we're up 1. Honestly, I know Jason Adams had a great year, but I'd rather have Fairbanks. But just because of how good he's been lately, he throws hard. I feel like in a closer, that's just that should be a given unless you have just filthy stuff. I'm talking like Mariano
I
Cutter
think
type stuff.
the one guy I would also say he's been kind of well under the radar all season. He's had like 1 or 2 bad games, I think. Brooks Raley has been pretty dang good. Like he's just a sneaky guy that's gone under the radar. He's done very, very well this season. Let me pull up his stats because he's been pretty dang good. He's 1.2, 2.68 ERA, 53 innings pitched, 61 strikeouts.
I think that can be our
I'd
lefty
say
arm
that's
'cause-
pretty good.
That'll be your matchup guy.
yeah.
You guys know last year we didn't have any lefties in the bullpen against the Red Sox.
Did
a
we
single
really not
lefty.
have any?
Not a single lefty.
That's brilliant.
Then we got Kevin Cash putting Poche against the Blue Jays, like all righty lineup. Like it still pisses me off. I was at that game, I couldn't believe it.
So for
We
the
need-
wild card series coming up starting Friday, I want to hear what are the keys to winning the series for the Tampa Bay Rays.
Hit.
Hitting.
That's it. Nothing else. Hit. Play your brand of baseball.
I agree.
Hit.
I agree. If you're a Rays fan, you agree. It's the damn bats. They don't do shit come playoff time. They don't really even do shit in the regular season that often either. Every now and again, you'll get your 15-run breakout game, and you're like, oh, maybe this is it. Maybe the batting's starting to figure it out a little bit, and then no, they'll get shut out 5-0 the next game, and so it's just man, it's damn frustrating, especially down this last
And
stretch.
base running. And base running. I will say base running. Those are the two.
More base running than hitting. Like we've been so terrible on the bases this year.
We're also drawing a lot of walks, but we're not hitting them in. So that's. But I don't know.
I think that's what the base
and then we
running-
do some dumbass running around I don't know what they're doing when they're stealing and how
Brandy is so aggressive.
Yeah, let's lay off being aggressive. I understand you have to be a little bit more aggressive when you're not hitting as well, so you can get some sacrifice situations.
Yeah.
But if you hit, all the other stuff plays itself.
If you hit, you don't need
the
anything
potential
else.
is there for the
Just hit,
hitting,
bro. And
the
stop
potential
trying
is
to
there for the hitting. All these guys can hit. They just don't.
Well, yeah,
I don't know what to say. They just
Is the approach.
some of them have 300 averages. Some of them have 290 averages, but they don't hit in the situations that count. And that's what's killing us every single game. If they can figure out how to hit with runners in scoring position, or even get runners in scoring in position, that is the key. Runners in scoring position, how we do getting them to that position, and then hitting when they're in that position. That is the key. Because we know the pitching should, barring some unforeseen, like a meteor strikes.
Don't even say that.
A meteor's going to strike before the pitching goes bad.
Tyler Glasnow in warm-ups needs Tommy John again. Don't worry. I'm not going to
Do not fucking jinx that.
We're good. Chill out.
Do not jinx that.
Don't worry. I already we're good.
But yeah,
here,
it is.
Let me be the dissenting opinion. Obviously, I think the hits are clearly the issue. That's been the issue this year, right? But I think another issue that I think is kind of being overlooked is the bullpen. I know historically we've had a great bullpen, but I feel like in these tight games, if you're not hitting, which is seemingly how the playoffs are going to go for us, right? However many games we play, it seems like we're going to score maybe 2 runs a game. And when the margin of error is 2 runs, when you're scoring 2 runs, your starting pitching has to be excellent. And in modern baseball, your starters are going to go 6 innings with McClanahan. He goes deep sometimes. Rasmussen, you'll go deep. But are they going to go deep in the playoffs? Is Cash going to rip them? I'm curious to see what that's going to be like, and who are your guys going to be out of the bullpen? Because we've already decided who our 3 are that are those guys. But are we going to see those guys, or are we going to see a Yaka bonus come playoff time? You know what I mean?
Bro, you can't get mad
looking at the bullpen. Looking at the bullpen, I feel like we give it people give bullpens so much hate. Just in general, they're nowhere near as bad as everyone says. Nowhere near as much as a liability. Our bullpen is pretty solid. Yes, there is a couple arms in there that can be at times pretty bad, but they can also be at times very good. And arms that are crazy good all the time in there.
I'm just saying when the margin for error, when you're scoring 2 runs a game, that's what I'm saying. Obviously we have a good bullpen, but I'm saying it's got to be perfect, and that was kind of my point.
How many teams asking a pitching staff to hold a Major League Baseball team over a whole entire playoff series to less than 2 runs every single game? You have a better chance of hitting the lottery.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Listen, I'm not saying
2 runs a game in a baseball team, in the playoffs.
Dude, I mean, have you seen the brand of baseball we've been playing? I'm saying our starting
absolutely,
rotation,
but I'm saying getting 2, we've been holding people consistently to 2 runs, but sometimes it's 3 and 4, and sometimes 5. We got to score 6.
I was just using that as a placeholder. I know. Obviously, the number one problem in the giant bold font, number 1 hitting. But I think a number 2 that is kind of being overlooked is if you're only going to score 2-3 runs a game, your bullpen has to be like
Yeah,
perfect.
I get it.
I'm saying perfect. That was my point. I wasn't saying the bullpen is the problem. I'm just saying like if we
I
want to go.
apologize if I misunderstood you.
Oh no
That's
no
my
no no no! Yeah, yeah, all the points were very valid. I'm just saying, if we want to go really deep, number one is hitting, but I think the bullpen has to be perfect. Also, it's kind of got to have a miracle playoff here. But you know what? Let's be optimistic.
Yep.
Amen to that. So, finally, we'll just get this out of the way. I think I know half of y'all's answers. What is your World Series matchup here?
You know, well, I've already predicted that if we get out of the wild card and win the World Series, so I'm gonna take it at Rays Cardinals. Rays win it in 7.
That's an interesting one. Rays Cardinals. I doubt a lot
That
of
would
people
be a
have
fun
that.
series.
Oh, that'd be very fun. Albert, Yachty, and Wayno. Come on, in the World Series on their final year. Come on. But like, I think I'd have to go with, man. I guess I'm going with Rays Dodgers. Is my
Rematch. That
Better
sounds
beat them
good.
this time.
yeah. I guess that's what I'm going with.
I'm rocking with the Braves. I already said the Rays. If we make it past the wildcard and ALDS, we're going to the World Series. But Rays and Braves sounds like the West. I'm rocking with the Braves, so they're playing us.
Well, I'm gonna say Astros Dodgers because fuck everybody. You know, we're
Okay.
gonna have to suffer through
Okay.
another
I
one
don't
of-
want to see that
We're gonna have
again.
to see
I-
another one of those again.
And that is my
If
pick.
I
is
have to-
Astros Dodgers once again. We have to
Like,
suffer.
this is so
through-
stupid. We have this conversation every single year. It's like, who's going to make the playoffs? And it's like, oh, probably Dodgers, Astros. If it's been like that since, what, 2017? Every single year, it's like these two teams. Obviously, they haven't won it every year, but like, God, it's so annoying.
Listen,
I'm sick and tired of it, dude.
It's tiring. It's also sickening. But as long as we get to see the Yankees suffer another October choke, that's all that
Yeah.
matters in my
Yeah.
eyes.
I'm all here
I
for
cannot-
that. I'm all here for that.
I'm praying for it so I can laugh at my roommate for the next 3 months.
That's
That'd be
about
awesome.
the best.
Valid.
Well, guys, thank you all very, very much for joining me, making the time to do this call and recording this video. I appreciate each and every one of you, and hopefully we can do more of these in the future. If the Rays do make the World Series, no doubt in my mind, we'll be right back here doing a preview of that. But again, we'll have to wait and see. So with that, that's going to end this video. But appreciate every one of you once again. Thanks for watching, all the viewers tomorrow that when this video goes live. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.